Good morning, Abuja. Still Citizen FM 93.7, and welcome to today's edition of Citizen Sport, the 13th day of the month of July 2022. Slowly, we are coming into the second half of the year, and of course, looking forward to what the rest of the year brings. We still have the World Cup, which is the biggest event on the calendar this year, and that is in November. For August, we have Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk rematch, which is almost around the corner, about a month to go. But right now, what is going on is the Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Rabat and Casablanca are the two cities that are hosting the quarterfinal games that will be played today and tomorrow. Well, for us here, we wouldn't be seeing the Super Falcons in action until tomorrow, 6 p.m. But of course, we still have to look out for our opponents. And speaking of our opponents, the latest news, well, not particularly inspiring or not exactly exciting, but right now, the latest news coming out from Wafcon indicates that the camp of Super Falcons have not the camp of Super Falcons, I beg your pardon. The camp of Super Falcons and possible opponents, talking about South Africa, that is the camp of Bayana, has been hit with COVID-19. So we really don't know what's going to happen yet, as the details are still sketchy. But, let's just hope they'll have enough players to be able to continue the competition. All right, so the camp of Bayana of South Africa is in disarray following the outbreak of COVID ahead of their quarterfinal clash with Tunisia tomorrow. This was confirmed in a statement released on South Africa Football Association website last night. Bayana finished top of Group C as winners after winning all three games, defeating Botswana, Burundi, and of course the Super Falcons. And you recall that subsequently, after a couple of wins, their star forward Sembi Gatana got ruled out of the tournament due to a serious injury that she picked up. And then here we have this one again from the South Africa Football Association, SAFA, talking about the fact that the Bayana will be forced to move on with a number of players after positive COVID-19 test emerged in the camp in Rabat, Morocco. South Africans are preparing for a crunch quarterfinal match against Tunisia tomorrow, and the win against the North Africans will ensure that coach Desiree Ellis charges are one of the four continental sides to qualify for the 2023 World Cup, to be hosted by Australia and New Zealand. As confirmed by the team physician, Dr. Rodney Makoka, he said that they had a positive case before when an official tested positive before the game in Burundi. That was at the group stage of the tournament. But the official was isolated and treated as she was symptomatic. And then 48 hours prior to the Botswana game, that was the final group stage match, one player tested positive and she was also symptomatic, put in quarantine and treated accordingly. And that means one player and one official, but no one knows what subsequent results will bring, basically. And with the way the COVID has been over the years, you might just not really know it even on until match day itself. So there's still possibility of some players being ruled out. But right now for the South Africans, I bet what will be most important is trying to get past Tunisia, because even with the COVID cases, once they are able to get past Tunisia tomorrow, then at least they are guaranteed a spot at the 2023 World Cup that will be played in Australia and New Zealand. So if anything, that at least will be the target right now, with the latest event rocking the camp, losing their star player Thembi Gatana now with COVID cases. But let's just see how it goes from the camp of the Tunisians as well. There doesn't seem to be any upset as yet, but for the Bayana of South Africa, well, this one is quite disappointing. And for coach Desiree Ellis, well, wish you all the best. right, now to the world of athletics quickly this morning. Right now, we have the athletes gearing up for Oregon Championships and the World Championships as well in Birmingham. But the athletes are already arriving in Oregon, which is the one that will start this weekend, and we already have the likes of Ese Brume in camp. All right, so the World Championships in Oregon will begin in 2 days' time this weekend. That is Friday. That is when the opening ceremony will be done, and then a lot of, like I said, a lot of athletes are already in camp. Like Sylvester Brume won the silver in Belgrade, where she leapt a new personal best of 6.85 meters. Is among the early birds at the Games Village in Oregon yesterday. Other athletes that are still expected at the village. Yesterday, you have Favor Ohale, who will be running in sprint. Tobias Musso, the hurdles, phenomenal. You have Raymond Ekwevo, who is also a sprinter, same as Favor Ashe and Godson Brume. We have two coaches, Kayode Yaya and Gabriel Okon, who are also expected to have arrived the Games Village by today. The likes of Grayson Okocha, Rosemary Chukwuma, Joy Udo Gabriel, and other mixed relay athletes like Adeyemi Sikiru will also join them later today. And come Friday, we definitely wish them all the possible best in this competition. The FN officials, that is the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, are said to be putting finishing touches to their traveling plans. The president, Tonobo Okowa, who came to Abuja yesterday, said it would meet with the secretary, Adeni Ibiyoku, and other officials involved in the travel arrangement for the Oregon 2022 World Championship to finalize all the arrangements. All right, now moving on to games that will be played today at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, Rabat. Surprise package Zambia, who are making their debut appearance at this competition and also looking to get a World Cup ticket, will be playing Senegal at 6 p.m. before Morocco and Botswana will square off. Well, for the Morocco and Botswana game, whoever wins in that game will be playing the winner of the Nigeria versus Cameroon game as well, while Zambia Senegal will be playing the winner between South Africa and Tunisia. So, what are the chances of these teams? Looking about Zambia, who have been able to come this far without losing any game in the group stage, and battling their way here as best as they could. You know, in recent years, Zambian women football have not really been known for much, and this will be the first encounter between these two guys at this level. So, Zambia coming into this one overall in the group stage games, they started their campaign with a goalless draw against Cameroon on the opening day before they went on to defeat Tunisia by 1-0 and made light work of Togo by 4-1. Now, Cameroon here, Senegal here, I beg your pardon, are also one of the powerhouses in AFCON so far, both the male side and the female side. But unfortunately, on the last match day, they failed to host Morocco by 1-0, and that was the only goal that they conceded. So, here we have two solid sides have come through the ranks and are going to battle it out. Of course, Bookies consider Zambia the favorite, but generally the feel around in the world of football will be that Senegal might be able to take this one. But hey, keep a lookout for Zambia as well because they just might pull something here. Because the Senegalese defense is quite strong, then maybe the Zambians might have a problem scoring goals. But the Senegalese won't have a problem, bringing the party to them. So it's just a really beautiful encounter to watch between these two sides, Zambia versus Senegal, for the first game today. The second game will be between Morocco and Botswana for 9 p.m. at the Stade Mullah Abdullah Stadium in Rabat. The host, Morocco women, who are touted as one of the favorites for this one, will play Botswana. Botswana were defeated by the Falcons by 2 goals. Botswana defeated Burundi by 4-2. They lost to South Africa by a single goal. Morocco, the host, on the other hand, won all 3 games, conceding just 1 goal in the group stages, and were able to score 5 in the process. So it's definitely a big, it's quite a tough one for Botswana. But Morocco, they'll be feeling comfortable. They have the highest goal scorer in their ranks, talking about Chebak. She was also, I believe, she was also given the best player in the group stages. But I'll check for that award. But this Moroccan team definitely is one to look out for, and especially in perspective, the fact that the Super Falcons, I beg your pardon, might come up against the Moroccans in the next round. That is, if we're able to get past the Cameroonians, the indomitable Lionesses, then we'll be coming up against the host, Morocco, since Chio Dama Spine. But basically, it's good to see that despite the fact that some powerhouses, some African powerhouses, African nations are not in this tournament, talking about the likes of Ghana, Ivory Coast, they're currently not at this AFCON. Well, that's because the Super Falcons did knock them out, and people attribute that to the zoning system. Talking about the fact that in West Africa, you have the WAFU, that's the West African Football Union. Then you have the COFASA, you have the CAFA as well, and one other grouping. So that means that when you have a cluster of countries that are strong together, like in West Africa, then some will come to the tournament, some won't. But then again, you want adequate representation across all 4 zones. But then again, that is not how Europe does it, sort of a way. But it's quite confusing in a way. But then again, you want to see these countries, but then again, you don't want to take away the chances of countries like Botswana, like Burundi, like Togo that are making their debut. So should they really use the zoning system or should they use the ranking system? And then this is something that football lovers always debate about. But so far, so good. Seeing a side like Botswana match up against the strength of Morocco this evening would show, just how much how much football has grown over in Africa because Morocco obviously are the favorite. They are the host as well, and they've been preparing for this one, and they look like a serious side. If the Super Falcons do meet them in the next round, it's going to be trouble. But hey, if the Botswana side, the mayors of Botswana, if they do pull off an upset here, then absolutely welcome that. That is why it is football. So tomorrow, the fixtures we see Nigeria, Cameroon, and the South Africa versus Tunisia. Well, by tomorrow we'll get more updates. New tests would have been done in the camp of Bayana Bayana. New COVID test that is would have been done in the camp of Bayana Bayana, and hopefully there won't be any more positive results, so they'll be able to field a very strong team and compete on equal footing with the Tunisians because if you compete against the Tunisians with the depleted squad, then they kind of have the advantage at this point in time because they are just that good. But best thoughts at with the Bayana Bayana team, and come tomorrow, we'll know what's up.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you. This is Fadaka, the one and only Prince of Melancholy.
All right, Fadaka, welcome to the show this morning.
Thank you very much. You are doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
African Cup of Nation women, if you look at it critically, I mean, the quality has improved. If you look at the team, they are doing very well now. They are not there before. Talking about the likes of Zambia, Senegal, and Co. They have not been in the competition before. And now they are doing very well. Shows that even you that have been doing very well, you have name, you need to go back and prepare yourself very, very well. Because if you even get to a time, you don't even yet name of which name anymore. You understand?
Yeah.
So for me, I think in the quarterfinal now, I'm expecting the light of Zambia. They have been doing very well. They've been doing in their group stage they did very well, and I'm not expecting them to fall down. And the light of even Senegal. Look at Morocco as well. They lost it. They did very well. So if you don't prepare yourself, don't expect anything positive. That is the fact. It's no longer all about men football. Even women football, you need to improve yourself, prepare yourself. Those that are tired, bring in the new legs, the one that is just coming up. They have strength to run, to strengthen your team. That is the most important thing. That's the only way you can move forward. And that is what we are lacking in our team. You understand? Tomorrow game is going to be a different story. We are playing against Cameroon. Cameroon is a very strong team. Honestly, it's a very strong team. You need to go to that team, with full determination. So I'm using them all the days tomorrow, and for today game, let's watch it and see who will come out.
What's your prediction for the Super Falcons game tomorrow?
My brother, as a Nigerian, I want them to win. But let me not tell you this. Let me not lie to you. It's going to be a different story. I'm a kind of fan that don't, I don't like being biased. It's going to be a different story. Honestly, Cameroon has been doing very well. They are very strong. Even when our Falcon are strong, using this, we need to give us fight. Let's talk of now that we are weak. But I believe those girls will surely make us proud. I only wish them all the best. Let them just go out, and do something better. I can make Nigeria to continue having confidence in them. But just like I said, I will not lie to you. It's going to be a different story. If you look at our group stage matches, despite the part that we qualified with 6 points, brother, we struggling. Let me just tell you the fact. That our first game, I did not enjoy it at all. It's not something that we're supposed to lose. We're supposed to have learned our lesson since the last night we lost to them in Lagos. But we forgot to know, we thought we arrived, that we are the women of Africa. We forgot to strengthen our team. Even though we are the stronger team in Africa, I believe we still need to proceed. Let's move to the next stage. There are some teams that are doing very well in the World Cup. Can't you compete with them? They have 2 heads. You're supposed to have gone beyond what is happening in Africa here. You're supposed to be competing with the people that are doing something better in the World Cup. And even at this stage, with the level of the course we've won in Africa, you're supposed to have won at least 1 or 2 World Cups. If we really know what you are doing, we have the talent, only of talent, but we don't know how to use them. They are just there wasting in our leagues. Yeah? It's not necessary we go to the World Cup to beat them. Employ the coach who knows about our league here. Let the person bring out those guys, those quality guys. They are doing very well in our league. We can do better. We can do better in the World Cup, whether it's the World Cup or Olympics. Nigeria is a blessed country, but our leader is our problem. Or if we do the right thing, even though we don't have to do the right thing here, my brother, my people used to say, if you go out to borrow somebody's brain, you can use it to process your life.
All right, thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we bring the show to a wrap this morning on Citizen Sport 93.7 Abuja. Join us again for our evening edition, 8:30 p.m. to 9. Of course, by then, the game between Zambia and Senegal will have concluded. By 9 o'clock, we will see Morocco, the host, play Botswana at the ongoing Women African Championships in Morocco.